days. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Brenda, aka Breezy, and I'm back with more of the Brenda Standard Story. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not done so already, take the time to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. You don't want to miss a story. Also, keep in mind that the Brenda Standard Story, the book, will be coming at you sooner than later in very deep detail. Again, you don't know what you're going to read, and you don't know if you're going to start. So, yeah, cop that. I'm going to keep you posted on when and where. So, let's, a very brief recap. Okay, we talked about the crazy ex. We talked about the abuse. We talked about him stabbing me. And now we've moved on to my son. Okay, so when the abuse started with my son, at the time, I did not know. I still to this day cannot tell you when it started. But what I can tell you is, one day I came home from work and my son, his shit was busted. His face, something in his face was busted. I remember that. It was something in his face was busted, and he had a bruise or something. But I remember the face was busted. I remember that. So I asked him what happened to him. You know, he was like, he fell. You know, he was getting a whooping and he fell. So I asked, the ex, I was like, what the hell happened to him? He told me the same thing. Now, y'all, keep in mind, you could say the word whooping to my son, or if he saw a belt, or if he did something wrong where he thought he was going to get a whooping, he was a track star. He would hit it. It did not matter. He would hurt himself. Whatever it took to escape, that's what he did. So when my son told me he fell and hit himself running, it wasn't far-fetched. It was kind of believable. So I'm like, well, what did he do? And I think he said he was playing with the iron and burnt something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something drastic. You know what I mean? So I didn't pay any more attention to what was said. But throughout the time I was there, before he went to work, the whole energy, everybody's energy was just off. He was kind of nervous but trying to play it cool. My son was a bit standoffish and withdrawn. So I knew it was something extra there. But I didn't press the issue because at the time, he was beating the hell out of me. I didn't have any family. I didn't have anywhere to go. It was just a bad situation. The friends that were cool with me, they no longer wanted to deal with me because of him. By this time he had drove everybody away. Nobody wanted to fool with me. I had even wound up losing the job I was at. For the most part, y'all, these people tried to work with me as much as they could. They really did. But it got to the point where they would have to tell him to leave, and he would go stand across the street, or he would sit in the parking lot. Or if it was somebody, a dude who come in, and you know how sometimes it was fast food. So you know how sometimes your job would have you run food out to the car. If it was a scenario like that, he would come to the job and cause a scene. It got to the point where he jumped on me one day at the job. So they was like, we're sorry. We have to let you go. We can't deal with it no more. So I understood. I wound up getting another job. But it was still the same thing. Anyway, back to the story. The whole vibe was off. The vibe was off. So about, it's about 4:30. He leaves, he's getting ready for work. He leaves for work, and I'm just noticing his whole goodbye thing was different, because he'd usually, kiss me on my forehead, kiss my son on his forehead, and, he tell us he loves us and he's out the door. Well, this particular day, he had he didn't even kiss me on my forehead. He had just grabbed me like really, really tight and aggressive. And he looked at my son and gave him a head snudgy, whatever, and was like, all right, shorty, you know. So that was weird. But when he did it, this is what really caught my attention. When he did it, my son jumped. Now, we've disciplined my son. But my son was never, you know, like real jumpy. You know what I mean? So it was the way my son jumped. And I laughed to play it off like, boy, you so crazy. And I'm like, you scared him, you know, he ain't see you coming. So I'm laughing to try to play it off so he don't jump to an aggressive side. So anyway, he leaves and I wait for about an hour so I know he's good and at work. And I asked my son, I'm like, what really happened to you? He told me again. And I told him, don't lie to me. I was like, what happened to you? I was like, he did this to you, didn't he? He's like, you know, he didn't want to tell me, but he finally told me, you know, yes, ma'am. And y'all, this bastard punched my son in the eye. Mind you, at the time, my son was, I believe he was 5 or 6. This bastard punched my baby in the eye. Now, it's one thing, you know, to beat on an adult. It's messed up to beat on a defenseless woman. But to beat on a child, because you, so, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so my son was like, yeah, you know, my son told me he punched him in the eye. He was like, I think he said he peed. I think that's what my son said. I'm not sure. But at the time, no, I don't know if that was it. I don't know. Because he was 5. Something like, Anyway, okay, so I'm mad, I'm frustrated, I'm crying, I'm pissed because I'm scared. I am scared and I don't know what to do. I'm heated, I'm over the top, I'm angry. I'm visibly angry and I'm visibly shaking because I don't know what's going to happen once I confront this man, but I do know I have to confront this man so he never put his hand on my son again. That was it for me. Bets off. It was it. So I put my son in the closet. I tell him, stay here no matter what you hear. If you don't hear me tell you it is okay to come out this closet, don't bring your ass out this closet. Do you understand me? He was like, yes, ma'am. So we did our little practice drill. And, you know, I opened the door. He bring this little badass out the closet. So I'm like, no, you don't understand. You have to stay in the closet, you know. Tell him this is serious because I have to leave home. You got to be here by yourself and you have to stay hidden in this closet. Do not come out until I tell you it's safe to come out of this closet. Do you understand? So put him in the closet, kind of cover him up. Not bad to where he can't breathe or he's suffocated. But, you know, so I close the door and I tell him I'll be back as soon as I can. You know, kiss my baby, tell him I love him. I'm out the door. Y'all, I grabbed the big, you know, the big butcher knife? Yeah, I grabbed that. When I tell y'all, I footed to this dude's job. You hear me? I'm talking about pulling on my way to his job because we ain't had no car. So I walked to his job. Now, his job was probably about 10 minutes away in a car. So just imagine how far I was on foot. But I walked with this butcher knife. And it was cold. I walked with this butcher knife. And I went to his job. And they knew it was something when I came in because, for one, it's cold. My face was red. I was crying. I looked a mess. And I went to him, and I put the knife to his throat. You know, and I kind of stuck it a little bit, just a little, to where to kind of cut him, you know. And I can't even say what I was saying. But, yeah, I let him know, hey, you know, find you something safe to do. You know, so I strike out. You know, I'm back to the house or whatever because my baby at home. So I go back to the house, and I don't know where we going to go. I don't know what we going to do. But I know we got to get out of there because I know 2 things. I know 2 things for sure. He is coming, and he's coming fast, and he probably going to kill us both. So, get my son, you know, I tell him, put your shoes on. You know, hurry up, put your shoes on, put your jacket on. I got him rushing. We rushing. I put my shit on. Before we could even get done, he walks in the house. And we froze. My son looked at me. My heart is beating fast. I'm crying because I'm scared. I know nothing good is fixing to happen. So, he walked up to me real slow. and he had grabbed me by my neck, and I turned my son's arm loose. And well, before I turned it loose, I kind of slung him a little bit. You know how you hold him, you just, I kind of slung him a little bit. I said, run. And my son ran out the door. So he, my son ran out the door. He was distracted by my son running out the door. So I was able to get around him and run out the door. So I ran up to, I caught up with my son, grabbed his arm. Y'all, we running full speed. I mean, we do this behind us. We are gone. Like, if there was a reward to be given, oh, we was getting it because we was running. I'm talking about we ran to the street. Now we ducking traffic. We get like Tina Turner. We ducking traffic and we run. Okay, so we run across the street, and it's a wide highway. So we get across the street. We run in this store. There's a store closed. So as soon as I opened the door, I started screaming. I was like, please, call the police, call the police. He gonna kill us. Please, 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 call the police. He gonna kill us, he gonna kill us. So we run behind the counter. Because he's like, come. So we run behind the counter, and we run behind this man. So the man, I think he's still trying to process this woman and child that just ran in here in a panic. My son is screaming and crying. I'm screaming and crying. So we're hiding behind this man. He has the phone, y'all. Y'all, the dude walks in the store. He walks behind the counter. Oh my God, y'all. He snatched he snatched the phone out the man's hand and beat the man with the phone. So the man is laying there. He's beat up bad. Me and my son are trapped in the corner because we done ran behind the man. For his protection. He grabbed my son by the arm and he told him, come on, I'm not gonna hurt you. He's like, I love you, come home with your daddy. So my son he kind of hesitant. He snatches my son. That let me know right there I had to go. I could not go. He told me, he said, get your ass to this house. He said, I'm not gonna grab you. And he grabbed my son and started walking. So we get back to the house. Y'all, after all that stuff that happened, the man takes it. He takes it from me again, my vajayjay. He takes it. I didn't have no family. I ain't had no friends. We ain't had nowhere to go. So we had to stay there. So now I'm feeling it's defeat. Because I know this man is doing this to my child. And I didn't know how to protect her. I didn't even know how to protect myself. So finally I was at my other job. And I remember telling y'all back in one of the stories that I was adopted and it was abuse going on in that home. Well, I wind up seeing one of the men from that church I was going to when I was in that home. He knew who I was. Y'all, the man hadn't seen me since I was probably 4 or 5. But he knew who I was. I didn't know, but he had called her. He had called the lady who had adopted me back when I was a baby. He had called her and told her, your daughter is up here. She works here, Next thing you know, she comes running in the door. Y'all, that's how we got away. You know what? We're gonna finish. We're gonna pick it up. No, we can close it out. That's how we got away. One day, I called her. I told her what was going on. I told her I need help. I was able to get in touch with one of my sisters, in Texas, in Dallas. So I was able to get in touch with her. I told the adopted mom what was going on, and I told her I need help. She liked the boy. She thought he was just the sweetest thing because he had the biggest front. You know what I mean? And like I told her one day, I said, he beats us. I told her, me and my son, he beats us. I told her he's gonna kill us. I told her this. I told her everything that he was doing to me, And one day he went to work. Played everything like, you know what I mean? Nothing was wrong. I'm still stupid puppet, So he left for work. I called her. I told my son. As a matter of fact, I had my son play sick that day. I had my son play sick. I told him, I said, you need to act like you do not feel good so he doesn't try to send you to school. I told him, I need you to stay home with me. It is not safe for you to go to school. Do you understand me? Yes, ma'am. So he played his part. He did his thing. Oscar, he did it. So, you know, he goes to work. I call her and I'm like, he's gone. We have to go and we have to go now. I told her I got maybe 6 hours before he come running in because he would always work split shifts. So I told her I got 6 hours before he gets here on a lunch break. I told her I have to be gone. She came over. One of the girls who had quit fooling with me because of him, she came. She was like, you finally out? And I'm like, yeah. So we gathered up as much stuff as we could, y'all. We packed up so much stuff and we was out. When I tell you we was out of there, not only was I out of there, I was out of the state, because I knew if I stayed in state, he was coming. So once he found out where I went over there, my sister came down from Dallas. My sister got me 10-10 in the wind. 10-10 in the wind. If he knew where I was, y'all. Now, for the most part, he kept asking me, where you at? Where you at? He got word that I'm in Texas. So he want to know where I'm at because he was coming. I never told him. But ladies, gentlemen, don't do that. Don't settle for that. It takes a toll on you mentally because it makes you feel trapped. And that's the mental prison I was telling you about because they break you down mentally. But don't do that. And look, let me tell y'all this. Don't play with nobody, kids. Don't be hitting them. Trust me. Mamalations 1 and 1. Find you something safe to do. Do not. Women, y'all too, because some of y'all do it. Sit there and beat on the child because you don't do that. Don't do it. But anyway, y'all got to get up out of here. It is past my bedtime. But thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your continued support. Y'all follow me on TikTok, YZE Queen, Wise Queen, Facebook, Brenda Sanders, and Instagram, Breezy. And you already know you can catch me right here on YouTube at Wise Queen. Yeah, but anyway, I'm out. Y'all be safe. Until the next video, be breezy.